Hi! Have you started a new job? Congratulations! Do you want to stick to this job? Well, if your answer is yes, then let me tell you that there are certain things that you should not do at this job. Because these things are career spoilers. They can completely destroy your career. So beginning a new job is very exciting and it's scary at the same time. Especially when you've had a bad experience at your past job, your new job becomes very exciting for you. Because here you can reverse everything that happened on the last job and you want to start all over again. Then this new job gives you the opportunity to redo everything and to have a much better experience, and it lets you start all over again. So isn't it great to have a new job? And how much more do you want to preserve this job? So even if your previous job was a pain, with the new job, you will be able to learn new things, refresh yourself, and have new and great experiences. And more than that, you'll be able to take new challenges and even make some new friends at work. Well, that's such a great idea to have a great job and a new job. But all these things can be very scary too. You may be worried about whether you will fit in your new job or not, whether you'll be able to make friends or not, or if your co-workers will like you or not, or whether you'll be able to impress your boss or not, or how hard your new job is going to be. So what you can do is, you can avoid doing certain things that I'm going to tell you in this session in order to preserve your job and to stick to your new job. And definitely you'll be off to a good start as you switch to your new job. So my name is Michelle and you're watching me on Skillopedia, the place to learn skills for the real world. So let's start with your first day at work. Has your manager or the HR department told you what time do you need to arrive at work on the first day? And where to go when you get there? Well, if you don't have this information a few days before you are set to start your job, then make a phone call and find out this information. Because obviously you don't want to be late on your first day at work. And sometimes people get busy and they forget to inform. So in such a case, if they have forgotten to inform, you are going to lose out on arriving on time on your first day at work, which is very important. So don't assume that you have to be there by a particular time because you don't want to be late. So that's why I suggest that you should definitely ask the people, ask the HR about when you're supposed to arrive and also where you're supposed to arrive. Because you don't want to wander around on day one of your first job looking for where you need to be. So ask this information beforehand so that you know where you're going and you're very confident on your first day at job. The next thing that you need to do on your new job is to cut down on your big ego at your new workplace. What I mean to say is, maybe you have an experience of 5 years or more in your field. But it's true that every organization has its own way of working and it has its own way of operating. So if one of your new co-workers offers you help about something at work, about how something has to be done, you should thankfully and graciously accept that help instead of showing out your big ego. So let's say that at your new job you need to do a task. And this task could be to submit the work record. You would be asked to create a record for every day and then submit it at the end of the month. So this is a kind of task that you've never done earlier, or maybe at your previous job you were not asked to do anything like this. So you don't really know how to do it. So one of your co-worker asks you, hey, can I help you with that work record? I'll just tell you how you're supposed to do it. And you go like, hey, I don't need help, I can do it, right? That's what your big ego will tell you. But I say that you should swallow your pride and accept someone's help. It's better than doing the task wrongly at the end of the month. It's much better to ask someone and do it right rather than doing it wrong, or else you will have to repeat it. So what I say is, you should swallow your pride and swallow your ego at your new job and accept help from your new co-workers. While we are still talking about co-workers, how about developing a good bond with them? So, if one of your co-workers is being really nice to you and they offer you out for a lunch, what should you do? Should you doubt their intentions? Like maybe they're trying to spy on you? No, you should accept their invitation for lunch. Yes, it's a great idea and a great opportunity to go out on lunch with one of your colleagues, because this will help you to get to know these people better. This way you can develop workplace relationships, stronger bonds. And is there any other better way than a lunch together to get to know a co-worker better? Well, there isn't any other way. So remember that you will need to spend a whole year or maybe even longer with all these new co-workers. So it's better that you get to know them right now. So don't turn down an offer for lunch from one of your new co-workers. It's a great opportunity to build bonds and to get to know them better. So whether it's over lunch or around the water cooler, gossip happens in almost every workplace. And yes, I know it's hard to ignore gossip. And maybe you should not even ignore it. So what should you do? Should you participate in the gossip and go about gossiping with your new co-workers? No, that's a big no-no. I think you should keep your ears open but your mouth closed. So you may learn valuable information about your organization through the gossip. For example, if you're listening carefully, you may find out that your boss is in a bad mood because he is having a difficult time at home. And that's how you will get to know that he's not like that always. He's going through a difficult time, that's why he's in a bad mood. Or maybe through a gossip, you will be able to find out new techniques for what you've been doing for a long time. So it's important to be flexible. You may learn a better way to do something by hearing it from other people. So don't participate in the gossip, listen and filter. Whatever you think is important, keep that. What's not important, let it go. And yes, of course, it's very important to remember that gossip is not always true. Only a part of gossip is always true. So now you have to be wise and find out which part to believe and which part to not believe. But make sure you don't gossip with your new co-workers, because that's going to cast a very bad impression about you. And you might even end up in a difficult situation. So did you have a bad experience at your previous job? Then you may want to say all about it at your new job. Like, what a slave driver my ex-boss was. Do you know that? How he bullied me all the time, etc., etc. You may want to say this all out and release all the negative feelings in your heart. But be careful when you talk negative about your previous boss or your co-workers, because at that time you're allowing the people at your new workplace to create a story about what actually happened. So this will soon be the talk of the workplace, that you had a bad experience at your previous workplace and what it was like, with all the add-ons which you may not even have said. And you might even think that when you tell about how you survived in such a hostile environment at your previous job, everyone might think that you're such a hero. But since they don't know you yet, they may instead see you as the villain. Okay. Moreover, your new co-workers may also wonder that if one day you're going to leave this job, you might even badmouth them, which means you might go to the next job and badmouth your current co-workers. So that's going to create a very bad impression on them. So it's better that you save all the negative things about your previous job experience to your family and friends. And even better, I think you should just forget about the tale, which means forget about everything that happened. So that's the best way to get out of it. Drop the tale, forget about it. You're at a new place, and hopefully you will have a better experience here. It's often considered to be quite foolish or unwise to share personal information with your co-workers. But it's especially a bad idea to do so with your new co-workers. You must not share your personal information with them. When you start working at a new place, you're open to new people, and you need time to get to know these people so that you can decide who is trustworthy and who is not. And later, when you make some good bonds, you can share your personal information with people who are really close to you. But I recommend that you should not do this when you join a new workplace. So if you want to stick to your new job, don't share your personal information way too quickly, because who knows, this might become the gossip in your office. So be careful about sharing your personal information. It might even be used as a weapon against you to complain about you to the boss. And that would come as a surprise. So if you do not want to be fired from your new job, then please use these golden tips that I've shared with you today to maintain good relationships, good bonds, and to have a happy time working. So if you want to stick to your new job, follow these tips and let me know if they worked for you. I'll see you guys soon again on Skillopedia, the place to learn skills for the real world. Bye-bye!